All right, because you are live.
Oh yeah, I want to check and make sure I see it on your page.
We are live. Here with my strapless dress on.
Girl, I don't know
Does
how
not
you do
realize I can look
those.
naked when we're live. I'm only half.
All
I'm only half naked.
right, now let me share it. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the share button. Oh, you have to make this public because you didn't. Can you do that still?
I did it
Oh, so what you got to do? You could fix it, right? Or you could probably do it after the live because
on
I don't
my
think you're going to be
page.
able to share.
Yeah. Edit privacy public. Okay, there we go. I did. Oh, so there we go.
Let me see. Yeah, you did it. You did it. I should have edited this. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit share. And then also, I'm going to post the link for the YouTube so you guys can subscribe. All right, there we go.
Oops, I can see my extra neck.
You said what?
I can see my extra neck.
Oh, I thought you said something about me because you know how my whole neck turned. Oh, I gotta crack my neck. Speaking of necks,
Don't do that around me. I hate that
what?
shit.
It's girl, I don't even know how people function without cracking their, body because everything on my body cracks. Like whether I crack it naturally or whether it cracks involuntarily, like everything cracks. My back, my knuckles. Well, I crack my fingers out of habit, but my back, my neck. If I don't crack my neck, it
My
don't feel
neck,
good.
my back. I was listening to that today when I was running around. All right, let me refill. You said you're drinking a detox tea?
Oh yes, yeah. So tonight I'm drinking my detox tea that I made. It's by TLC. It's not supposed to be flavored, but I done hooked it up. It tastes good. It tastes like lemonade. It tastes like lemonade iced tea.
Okay. Well, I have some wino shit like I had before, wild Irish rose.
Wow. Is it sweet? I always ask that shit.
What?
Is it sweet?
I mean, kind of. It depends on which flavor you get. This is the red one. This is the one to make you fight people.
That's
And I just
the
mix it with
crazy
my
part.
Dr. Cherry Pepper. Dr. Pepper cherry. See?
You
Ooh.
know what? I'm gonna have to try that because now that you're saying you mix it with Dr. Pepper, I know Dr. Pepper is sweet because with me, as long as it's sweet, I could rock with it. But
Yeah.
I don't like dry, bitter. I'm like, what's the point in drinking like stuff that has no flavor?
Girl, I should have been hella fucking lit. I should have got some Mad Dog 2020. But that's okay. I'm gonna have it next week. That's my shit. Mad Dog 2020.
I never had that. You know what
Ooh,
else I never had? You know the Four Locos? Is that what it's called? I never had
girl,
that either.
that's what I used to drink. I don't fuck with Four Locos no more. Girl, Four
I
Locos used
heard
to fucking have people pass the fuck out from alcohol poisoning.
that's the thing, but you had it before. How did you feel? Oh my bad, I'm checking my
I
teeth because
used
I
to
feel like
drink
something
Four
was in.
Locos, and when I was in high school, like when we had chorus class, my mom
How
started
you
buying me.
drinking in high school?
My mom started buying me juice. JOOSE.
Before you were 21?
Yeah.
What? My mama was strict up until I was 21. Once I turned 21,
My
that's when we
mom
start hitting the club
my mom
together.
was strict too,
Hey,
but it didn't have a whole lot of alcohol in it. So yeah, it was
what?
yeah, yeah.
My mother didn't even let me drink coffee until I was like 18. But like I said, now the mom that I have now, I didn't know this was like a mama I could have because I go to the club with my mama. We be lit. People be
Yeah,
thinking we sisters out here.
that's all I drink now. Well, that's all my
What?
mom drink was coffee. But yeah. she wasn't strict like that. Maybe like if I was out there like my sister was, but I wasn't. That's why
Yeah,
she
I know what you mean.
yeah. So I was a real good teenager. So my mom, I didn't have a curfew, even though I didn't go out that
You
much.
ain't go nowhere because
Um,
I was like that too. Like my
yeah, but
brothers and them, they used to always be around. I used to be home. That's why this quarantine ain't phasing nobody. Cause I've been about this. Like I don't really go
but
nowhere. Like seriously.
I was taking care of my mom. She was bedridden, so
Mm.
she always knew where I was. So like the whole going out thing, like I didn't really do that. And even if I did, like I said, I didn't have a curfew, so
So she used to go out to get the liquor, or how did that work?
she would send my sister and get so go get it.
Oh, your sister.
My sister or my home or her home health aide. Because when I was at school during the day, she would have a home health aide, and then I would
Mm.
get home and take over. Because my sister, she was just we couldn't trust my sister for shit. My sister used to leave her at home while I was at school for hours, and she wouldn't get changed. Yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, we was like fuck her. And anyway, woo, yeah, girl. I started talking about my sister. This whole line would just go downhill. So yeah,
Ah!
yeah. So let's get this shit started because I'm getting a little buzz and my eyes are starting to burn because of buzz. So
Okay, so let's
yeah.
talk about it. So tonight, what I wanted to touch base on was the CMS rules, right? So that could be the first
Mhm.
topic, because like, so for anyone who's in Charlotte or have children that attend Charlotte Mecklenburg schools, the original plan was supposed to be for 2 weeks of in-person school, and then the rest of the school year was going to be virtual.
Which was
They
dumb.
decided that they are not doing any type of in-person anything. It's going to be totally virtual as of August 17th, which is a goddamn shame. Girl, I
Well,
got two kids. I don't know what
well,
I'm
we
going
send
to
their ass
do.
back to school.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I gotta that from March to June, I nearly died of mental exhaustion. Like seriously. Like this, it was ridiculous. And the thing is that, like, of course, the kids are supposed to be homeschooled, right? But you're the teacher. The teachers are even when you have to make sure that they actually paying attention. Like when they in school, they teachers make sure they're paying attention. You can't yell at a kid through a video chat and it be as effective as in person schooling.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I really like with my older one, she kind of like does her own thing. But my younger one, I have to watch her. But with my older one, she really say she do the work and she ain't do the work. So I definitely have to check behind her. But sometimes she really does her work and I ain't gotta mess with her. My youngest, she's not doing nothing unless I sit there with her the whole entire time. So in between me taking calls, I'm like helping her with her work. That shit was so
Ooh, I am
stressful.
so glad I don't have any kids.
I'm like, this is when it's it like this is when I would like I should have just started baby making like a year or two ago. This way I would have a non-school age child, so this shit would have. But actually, it was well, no, because the kid would be in daycare. Because even with the kids going to daycare, having a childcare provider, the childcare provider has to tend to other kids, and the childcare provider can't help all the kids with their work. You understand? That's why I had to do it. And if you want something done right, you get it done yourself. Because some people is not going to put in that effort. Like it's crazy because I just saw this guy post saying that he feels like the at home school thing is going to mess with a lot of black families. I'm like, is that so true? Because we're not used to sitting down with these kids and doing nothing. Yet alone, we got to sit down and be their whole teacher, and we still got to tend to our jobs. Like, why are we not getting some of the teacher's salary? Because this is crazy.
I mean, hold on.
Girl, it's
Okay.
hard. It's hard. Like
But
I think that because they're not really learning. I mean, my kids are learning because I'm making sure. And then and I actually got to watch my child grow because she was struggling with reading. She's in first grade going to second. She was struggling with reading, and I noticed the growth. So I'm glad that I had the time to work with her because when they first started homeschooling versus when school was over, she was like a lot more advanced, which is good. This shit is
girl,
hard, bro. So just say a
yeah.
prayer for every person who is going to be in the situation and I'm glad I just have two. Some people have way more than that, and I can only imagine.
Ooh, girl. Speaking of people having a whole bunch of fucking kids, you know the singer Kiki Wyatt?
Mm-hmm.
You really know who she is, right?
I know who she is. Like I've heard of her, but I can't tell you
Okay.
what she sings. But I've heard of Kiki Wyatt.
Well, she is pregnant with her 11th child. So, as far as homeschooling, I really hope she has the help. Like, I know
She
she
got
can
the
afford
money.
it.
She good.
She can afford it, yeah. But, girl, being pregnant 11 times.
I don't know how she did that. Hold on, let me go on
Well,
Google.
she's on her third husband, if I'm not mistaken.
But the fact that she popping them out like that, like, bro, that's good though.
Girl, I
Kiki
I
Wyatt.
can imagine what her stomach looked like. Girl, you know
What's up?
her stomach look like balled up homework.
Let me tell you something though. I know people for some reason that have kids and they just bounce right back. This is her.
Yes, the bitch with the rain. She can sing. The girl having all them kids, like,
But she has 11 well 10 going on 11 kids. Hold on. I be nosy because I be wanting to know like what type of how old is she? How old is she? Do you know? I'm gonna go on Google anyway.
girl, I don't shit. Cause she got married first at 18. And then she went to
Mm.
her second husband. Then her second husband, I guess he cheated or whatever. He filed for divorce. And she ended up getting married to this third guy who we like he's not in the industry or anything like that. I think she just married some regular dude. So when we found
Damn.
out that she was married, we found out that she was pregnant with that baby. Now she's pregnant with another baby.
Yeah, I see. She's 38, so that lets me know because I didn't even
She's
get 30 yet, but
38.
she's 38, but that's not bad though because
That's not bad, but damn,
with 11 kids.
you laid it low and spread it wide.
Girl,
Girl,
11 kids. My mama had six. You know that? My
she
mother
did
had
have
six.
6 kids.
My mama
And
had
she's what,
six.
40? She's only what, 40 something?
Yeah, my mom's still in her 40s.
So she had all of her kids before what age? When was the last time she had her last kid?
My youngest brother he was born in in 2000. So that makes him, he'll be 20 this year.
So when did she start? She had to be like,
No, my mom had her first kid at 16, so she started young. And then it was 16, 17, 18. Yes.
are there
And
any
then,
twins in the mix?
no,
Or
there are no twins, but me and my brother, we're 11 months apart. Same mom, same dad, because basically I was born early. So he's September of 89. I'm August of 90. So it's
he's
because
September
of
of 89? When's his birthday?
September 21st.
So he's still a Virgo. So
Yeah.
I'm 11 days older than he is.
You was born in 89 too?
September 10th, 1989.
But yeah. So that was that.
So
Me and him are 11 months apart. It's
like
crazy because we literally are the same age for like a month. The same
I don't
age.
mind. I don't mind being fruitful and multiplying. Like I don't want kids unless I have a husband to help me take care of them. But girl, having all them kids and going through childbirth over and over again, and your coochie being stretched out, and you go and having multiple C sections. Like what the fuck is that show? 19 kids and counting.
Hmm.
Now the bitch got 21, 22 kids.
That's crazy.
I
Like
wish
I said,
I
when you could afford it and got the patience, because honestly, being a parent is tough. Like, can you imagine like waking up in the middle of the night, diapers, like doodle diapers at that,
could.
and you have to clean it. You gotta clean the baby. It's like, bro, I can't. I did it.
No, absolutely not. So 11 kids. Joseph, I see you're online. Aren't you one of five boys? We'll wait till he
What you call it? I forgot to see. Oh yeah.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on my iPad. That's how I can
Yeah, I
see
had
if
to
he's
check on
not
my other
here.
phone so I could see the actual.
The chat. But yeah, girl.
Yeah, because I was trying
So
to see.
like these families with these multiples, I just so well shout out to Kiki Wyatt because
That's
11
good though.
kids.
She's 38, and I mean, she looks good. You know, it's crazy because my mom, you would think we were sisters, and I'm like, I'm convinced that having a lot of kids keeps you looking young. I promise you, because everybody that I know that got a lot of kids, they look good. Well, that I know, I can't speak for everybody because I know there's some people that got mad kids that look kind of like, but the people that I know.
My childhood friend, her Shalika Freaka. Her name is Shalika, but I call her Shalika Freaka.
Ah,
She is one of nine kids. Her
mm,
mom, Miss Twyla, she has 27 grandchildren.
mm.
And
Yeah,
Miss Twyla, I think she's Twyla's in her 40s too. So before, I don't know what age she had her last one, but girl, their whole family, and like we all grew up together. So, and we when I said we all grew up together, she had her last one by the time I met Shalika. Her last one had to be like five or six. I think it was Mercy. So Mercy's grown now. So in between from before and then when I met Shalika when we were little,
hmm,
like 27 grandchildren in your immediate family, all in the city of Charlotte.
that's crazy.
Can you
But I
imagine
can
what a
believe it
holiday
because,
would look like?
but back in the days, they used to a lot of people used to have like a lot of kids. I know you know of Henrietta Lacks because I looked her up, right? She had a lot of kids and
Yeah.
she was young. She died at 33 and she had at least like 4 or 5 kids. But her kids, like I think she had her first child at like 14. And Henrietta Lacks is basically a black lady who they stole her cells and they still use her cells to this day. And her
Yes.
family never got paid a dime. So look her up, Henrietta Lacks.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but she was actually young, and then like with my father, his like he's my dad is Jamaican, but he has like 8 siblings, so his parents have 9 children.
My dad has seven siblings, but my grandmother, she was real friendly with her Bujanas. Um, my dad and my dad and my aunt Rosetta, they are the only two of my grandparents, my grandmother's children, excuse me, who are blood Puritans,
The other
who are my
5 are somewhere
grandfathers.
else.
Yes,
I get it. My
each of them somewhere else. So at some point, my
mean that she
grandfather,
got like 6 baby daddies.
five.
Oh,
So
she has 5.
at some point, my grandfather did leave my grandmother. I don't know if he found out that she was doing something like, but my grandmother did make no bones about it. She was like, "Yeah, the rest of my kids, they each have five different fathers." And my grandfather, he was just one of those honorable old school men. He let my grandmother give each of the other five kids his last name. So everybody is a Curitan, but there are only two biological Curitans.
So wait, she basically had the kids in a previous relationship, not while they were together.
I think the third one might have been while they were together, and my grandfather might have found out about some finaglish shit because he went and remarried somebody who was cousin to our family.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this was down in Monroe in Union County in
Ah,
Monroe, North Carolina. So everybody in Monroe is cousin to each other. Everybody in Monroe moved to Monroe from Waxhaw and Lancaster because we were slaves down there, and that's where we were
mm.
owned. So all the white folks were cousins and married to each other, and each family married into each family, and everybody's
I
fucking
think
related.
that's how this world was built, honestly. But then you have some people
Exactly.
that migrated over from different countries, and that gave us a little more to work with, a little more sperm cells, a little more eggs.
Exactly. So that's why I don't get how my family can still live in Monroe because, like, how do you date down there? Everybody's related to everybody. One of my aunts, I'm not going to say anybody's name. Well, somebody's biological father is a town drunk. You can, like, once you see her and you see that family, they all look alike. Like they're light skinned with red hair and freckles. So you know she belongs to that family. But she
Mm-hmm.
has my grandfather's last name. And everybody in my family is dark skinned. We black as hell. So you know
Mm-hmm.
she's a thumb. She sticks out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then everybody else, I can't imagine who their dad is. But yeah,
It's weird because I
girl,
literally have one, like when people look at my kids, it's like one is chocolate, the other one is like mad yellow. I'm like, I just have the two complete opposites. I'm like, yep, they both came out of me. They just one just look like that and the other one look like that. I can't.
hmm,
So sometimes, and oh yes, I was in the post office and it was this lady with her daughters, and I was looking at the hair and it was so thick, but one was like real light skin, the other one was dark skin. And I was like, who's older? She was like, well, that one is older by a couple of minutes. They're twins. I was like, one dark skin, one light skin, and they twins. So I've seen that.
yeah,
Like, so it made me understand more how I got, this yellow baby and this chocolate baby.
yeah, this whole genetics thing, and I don't want to like question like, women, their fidelity and stuff like that, but I would be
Yeah.
horribly offended if somebody asked me, well, so and so don't look like so and so. Is it really? First of all, you calling me a hoe.
Girl,
You calling me
girl.
a hoe. You calling me a hoe, and
Exactly.
you calling me a cheater. And then I'm sorry, but that's just grounds for me to fuck you up. And I
It's
know somebody
crazy.
might
We have that
know,
issue.
if somebody might not know, okay, you can not know over there, but don't come at me with your suspicions on who the father of my kids is. I'm
Girl,
not that
I
bitch.
went through that
I'm
so
not
much
that
with
bitch.
Queen. They was like, why is she so light? Yes. They was like, that ain't her real baby daddy. I was like, and it's crazy because I'm like, my baby daddy don't have that concern. So how the hell you as a stranger have that concern?
Exactly. Who the fuck are you?
He actually used to argue with me because I used to try to say Queen looked like me. He's like, no, look at my baby picture. Look at this. Because it's like I have Caucasian in my family and he just have light skin. I have little Caucasian. I'm like, nah, she get that from my side. So with me and him, we're comfortable. It's other people that think they can stick their nose and stuff and be like,
Yeah, and say the
yeah, I
most
don't look, they don't
and
look.
say the
Who the
most
baby look like?
inappropriate shit like you gonna name that baby after me? I hate when niggas say that shit.
You're hilarious, yo. You never
I
been
hate
expect
when
you
niggas
were
say
never
that shit.
expecting before, but you know the struggles. That's crazy. But that's the struggles.
Nigga, please. Nigga, please. And niggas be thinking that shit's funny. It's not funny. Oh, you just mean because you pregnant. No, I'm mean because you about to get killed. I'm mean because I'm mean. People
It's
don't
yo,
understand when they be saying shit like little shit. Oh, you just da 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 da, and oh, how your baby look like that? Like they don't understand that they're being rude and unnecessary.
that's what I'd be like. I'd be wondering like who the fuck raised some people because there's certain things when people say it, I'm like, even if I thought that shit, I would not say it out loud. I would like I don't understand people like you because especially when it's not your place to be speaking on something. Like
Exactly.
I remember
But
what
when that
with
baby gone,
Beyonce, when Beyonce was having her baby and they was like this and this and that, it was fake. Like at the
talking
end of
about
the day,
her hair, talking about Blue Ivy's hair, why won't she do her hair? Oh, excuse me, why won't she
they
comb
probably
her
don't
hair?
have kids because I promise you, I probably didn't understand that either. But then when you have a kid like Queen, like I think when Beyonce had her child, I just had one kid, if anything. But with Queen, when you touch, I would like if I was not as patient as I am, she would have been walking around looking like Blue Ivy too, because that girl cries as soon as you look at her hair. So I be wondering like if it's a situation where her baby is tender headed. That's probably what it is because when you got a baby that's tender headed, you probably not gonna fight them to do their hair. Because I honestly, I fight mine to do her hair, but
I
everybody
don't
ain't
give a
about to
fuck.
fight their
If I
kid.
have a little girl, I'm heavy handed and I know it. You're just gonna have to get used to my heavy handedness.
Girl,
Because
the thing is
we
that
didn't
sometimes
have
the
a choice.
crying,
We didn't have a choice when we would get our hair pressed and hot combed and we would get hit in the back of our neck with that comb because we moved.
that's you.
And
I didn't grow up with that.
girl,
I'm glad I dodged all of that because my mommy locked my like it's crazy because she did used to do like I used to get braids and stuff and it used to hurt so bad. And my mom was like, you know, if we lock your hair, it's not gonna hurt that much, which is true. But this shit still hurts when I get it twisted because I'm really tender-headed. So with my youngest daughter, the way how she be flipping out, I understand because I will act like that too. The only thing is that I'm grown, so I can't. But that should
That
be
reminds
hurting.
me of you gotta want better for your kids. True. True. That reminds me of Crooklyn when Aunt Song was doing Troy's hair.
Ah!
And she was hot combing her hair, and she, that grease, that girl, that good old grease from that blue magic from that hot comb. Once it touched your hair, and you hear that, and Troy went ow because that grease is melting onto your scalp. So if
I
anybody
can't
listening,
relate, but I done did that with Queen before though.
I understand. And then on song, she says, "Woo, you got the nerve to be tender headed with these
Exactly. That's
snaps."
what I'm saying.
Because then
Queen.
she said, and then I hate this shit right here. Then she said, "You ain't got good hair like my baby. What's good hair?
You know
You
it's
got the good
crazy.
kid hair and all that
You
shit."
you when you have two kids like mine, you understand good hair because with Empress here, her hair is like I could literally lay because she has locks, but I could lay her edges with water. Even like before we locked her hair, she had like a good texture. But Queen here is like a Brillo pad, bro. I swear it's always dry.
Don't
I could
say that. She has 4C textured hair.
that's exactly what it is. And I didn't know nothing about 4C until I had a child with I didn't even know that there was a such thing as different categories in this
Girl,
4C
that shit
thing.
just came up because when the whole natural wave in the past couple of years
And
just
they was
came
like, oh
up, I was
shit,
like,
you
where did
got
these
4C.
numbers
You
and
need to
where
relax this shit.
yeah, where did these numbers and letters come from? Like I just have thick hair, and I just have thick hair. So like, and that's why white folks, white people, whoever you are, if you watch this, stop locking your hair. You don't have the
Oh
textured
yeah,
hair,
their hair doesn't lock properly.
and then
That's why
they
like
have
if your
the
hair is
nerve,
relaxed, it won't lock properly either.
to say, "Oh well, the Vikings in Nova Scotia, they locked their hair, and they were white people, but it still didn't come from them. They might have took it from us, but it still didn't come from them." Girl, have you seen those old statues and artworks of the Egyptians and the Africans with different hair styles and braided up in bows? And because
Hmm.
it depends on like which tribe you came from, your hair was styled, and it depends on like if you had if you had money or not. So when they
And then they
say
be having those big old earrings sometimes too.
big old
And those
earrings
and
and
those and
in the
those
front,
things on their neck sometimes too. You ever seen them? They have like these metal things. I need to find out what they're called, but they be having metal things on their neck and then their necks be long as shit. I've seen that before. I gotta find
yeah,
out what it's called. But stuff
yeah.
like that,
And
I'm like,
so
bro,
when it comes to
yeah,
hair,
people don't want to wear masks.
all this good hair, bad hair. That's why I love wearing locks because it's literally connecting us with our ancestors. Like this is how they wore their hair.
Yeah.
So like, and then
The
they have the
thing is
nerve to say
that,
that locks are professional looking.
but you know what else though? With white people, like it's like this. Well, I can't really say with white people, but with locks in general. If everybody decided not to touch their hair ever, just wash it and go, wash it and go, your hair will lock. So when white people lock their hair, it's just that if we lived in a world where combs and brushes didn't exist, they would really have locks too.
They would, but it would be their hair would be a lot more dirtier
It
than
still
ours would.
wouldn't, yeah, it's still not naturally for them. I just don't
It's
be
not
understanding
naturally
some
for them,
stuff. Like,
huh?
how is it that some people are born with like absolutely straight hair and then some people are born like all this curly hair? Like, I don't understand that part.
DNA, because
Like,
even with DNA slavery, they have to have some white
but
person in
hair
there
is hair. I
somewhere
think
for
everybody's
it
hair
to
underneath their
pass.
arms look the same. So why doesn't everybody's hair on their head look the same? I'm just saying, like, it's weird to me. Like, it's not like people who grow straight hair under their arms. They grow that curly shit like everybody else. Yo, my mind just be over the place, all over the place. Good thing I ain't drinking no wine tonight. But those are just, it's just something to think about.
So what's the next subject, girl? Okay, so
Okay.
let's get on Meg Thee Stallion real quick because I want to go from Meg Thee Stallion to something else.
Okay.
So she went online and
Mm-hmm.
she cried about,
The whole situation.
yeah, saying that she didn't put her hands on Tory. So she cut that shit
Oh.
out. And it was very traumatic and everything. And girl, okay, so let's just cut the bullshit. Just hilarious. This after she put her live out and everybody was in solidarity with Meg, not Tory. Just hilarious. The comedian, just hilarious. She puts a video. Have you seen the video?
No. Yo, just what did she do now? Did she fuck up again? She always doing something. And then when she do stuff, she gonna apologize after, cause she wanna retain her fans. At least she apologized, cause some people do fucked up shit and they don't apologize at all. I wanted to tell me what I missed.
Where's
I
the
can't
video?
breathe when you're touching me. I can't breathe when you're touching me. I suffocate when you're away from me.
Okay, so
Okay, let's watch this video. Hold up.
she says, well, a fan account of Meg Thee Stallion. They posted the video and they said, was this supposed to be funny? So here's the video.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, fuck. Where's the video? Motherfucker.
Somebody call a paramedic.
Really? Keep saying reload.
But you said Just Hilarious posted it, or somebody else shared it.
She did post it. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
That was produced it would go that produced when she felt the hot metal was of this.
What the fuck? I'm trying to get it full screen. No, let me go back.
That was produced when she felt the hot metal was of this. Hey, oh. Tory, if he did this on purpose, which we are justifying that he did not, it would have looked like this. Let me get that motherfucking foot. Let me get that toe. It doesn't happen like that. That's not the way it would go. That was produced when she felt the hot metal was of this. Hey, oh. Or if he did this on purpose, which we are justifying that he did not, it would have looked like this. Let me get that motherfucking foot. Let me get that toe. It doesn't happen like that. That's not.
Honestly, I
So
think
yeah.
that's exactly what's wrong with the world, because people take people's, and like I said, this is going to go back to the August and Will and Jada situation, but people take people's real life situations and they make jokes about it. Even with the Kanye situation, knowing he's bipolar, like they make jokes about it. I'm like, I don't think they should be joking about that, because it could have been a lot worse. And the sad part is that even if she died, they would have joked about it too. Like that's just the fucked up kind of world that we live in, unfortunately.
So of course people drag Just Hilarious, and you mentioned that she apologized. She didn't apologize yet. So no,
She normally does.
she normally does. So
But I'm like, why
um,
do people even think it's okay to joke about that? Like, what if that was your sister? What if that was your mother? What if that was your ass?
what
Like,
if
you
that was
think you
her?
want, like, you
What
want
if that
people
was her?
joking about you getting shot in your foot? And like, bro, like, come on.
And she didn't think it was funny when somebody leaked her nudes, her big ass nudes.
But I'm not surprised. You know who's like that too? Wendy Williams, who's Wendy Williams be all up in people's business, but when it was time for her to be going through her divorce and this and this and that, she didn't want nobody in her business. Like, how you
Remember
don't
when
want
she
nobody in your business, but you be in everybody else's business?
remember when she fainted on TV? Oh, crackhead bitch.
Oh,
Oh, that
girl.
just correct girl when the girl when that eye started going, I was like, there she goes, there she goes. Oh, but yeah,
I
no,
get
that is
making jokes out of stuff, but I think sometimes, like with stuff like that, somebody getting shot, that's not a joke. Even like I said, Ricky Smiley's daughter was shot too, and she survived. It's crazy because she was shot in her foot too, like in her leg. Well, you know it's crazy because Jamaicans say foot, they could be talking about your foot, your leg, your calf, your thigh. Foot is the whole part, but she got shot in like her calf or her, her actual foot. That's sad though. But it's crazy because whoever was shooting was clearly shooting that low. Normally like if they're
and
shooting
that's
to,
precise. That's
yeah, that's the
precise.
thing.
That lets you know that there was more. That's obviously more to the story, but Meg can't talk about it. But it would be clearer if she would have just made it known who actually shot her. If it wasn't
I
Tory,
mean, honestly, she can make it clear about who shot her, but then again, what if she doesn't want to let people know? But then it's crazy because people accusing Tory Lanez, but what if he didn't even
yeah,
shoot
but
her?
what if they're accusing him of something that he didn't do?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What if he didn't even shoot her? And that's why I'm like, people just need to sit back and wait and relax and until like right now it's in the heat of the moment. She literally could have died. Like it could have been, worse. She
Exactly.
was shot.
So I take that Meg the Stallion moment because like people still joke about, the black woman's pain, the whole domestic violence situation and just we don't have any help from our own people. And that takes me to something else. Do you watch Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition?
I don't watch it, but that's something that I think I would want to watch because I know like they be having somebody was on there, some couple that I know. Is it Tahiri?
Oh, so you know them.
The thing is that no, it's not that. Like I said, I be seeing stuff, but I know Tahiri from like Love and Hip Hop
Love and Hip
before.
Hop. Yeah, Love
That's
and Hip
like
Hop.
it's been that long since I used to watch Love and Hip Hop. So when I see people like Jocelyn, I know Jocelyn because I used to watch it back then, but I can't tell you anybody new. But yeah, I saw an episode or like a preview of the Marriage Boot Camp.
So you saw the preview of the altercation?
I didn't see an altercation. What
Okay, so
happened?
let's go ahead and go to the clip.
I want to see.
This was released, I think, today, so I
Nobody
can't.
died though, right?
No, nobody died. It would have been bigger
Okay.
news if anybody died. So here's the clip that
Nothing.
was released today. I have the sound on.
Who is that?
So this is Tahiri
Scrappy?
and her boyfriend Bado. The,
Oh, because I'm like, he looked like Scrappy for a second.
yeah, from far away,
Okay.
a little scrappy.
Okay. So that's them.
Crazy to y'all. I look extra aggressive.
What the hell?
No, 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 no.
What the hell?
No. Like,
What? Huh?
yo, are you kidding me? This house is on fire. Apple Facebook.
Wait, what happened?
I look crazy to y'all. I look extra aggressive.
Was he about to snitch on him about him being abusive and he got abusive on the spot? Like, what just happened?
See, we need to see the whole episode because this is why we
That's
need to know the whole story.
crazy.
Because Dr. Ish, he's the marriage
What if you
relationship.
look? Hold on, play it one more time. I'm sorry. Because if you look, it don't matter what happened. At the end of the day, y'all on a stage in front of mad people and you grabbing her like that?
He
Whose
must be
butt is
really he had to be real comfortable to do that type of shit.
that's crazy. I would she and then she just sat there. That's the other part that blows my mind. I will fuck somebody up on sight. You don't have to kill me in front of all those people because I'm fighting back until I can't fight no more. Are you crazy?
Look crazy to y'all. Extra aggressive.
What the hell? Nah.
know.
What the hell? So that was Tahiri?
His house is on fire.
That was Tahiri though, right?
That was Tahiri.
It's crazy because I didn't even know nothing was going on with her, but I know her because she used to be with Joe Budden or whatever his name is. That's bro. And the fact that she just sat there, I want to punch her.
Him or her?
I want to punch both. I want to know him. I want to murder him. With her, I just want to punch her. Like, why the hell didn't you fight back, stupid?
Because she's probably used to it now. I saw other clips from this upcoming episode, and it showed 2 seconds. See, you see how there's the whole clip of that?
That's
then
crazy.
2 seconds of her throwing an apple in his face. And he was still mad about that. So they were arguing in the kitchen, and she chucked a green apple in his face and hit him. Not justifying the violence to the Black woman or to the Black man, but Dr. Ish, the relationship and marriage counselor on that show, he put that on his Instagram, not showing the whole story. But the thing is, just to get people to watch. So he put that
I
on his.
get it, but bro,
He put that
this honestly,
not explaining the whole situation. So now everybody,
a lot of the time stuff like that be fake though, and I know it's fake because I remember the last time. Hold on, wait. The last time I was actually watching Love and Hip Hop, it was a guy. I think his name was Scrappy, but anyways, he was going to jail. Right? He was going to jail. This guy that I'm talking about, I don't know if that's his name, but it's not the Scrappy that used to be with,
Yeah, it's another Scrappy.
And he had like a ponytail, like with braid, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? So there was an episode where, you know how they basically talk about, how they felt in that moment? Like they show, like, this is supposed to be clips after them watching this themselves react. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So it was a time when he was going to jail, and in the video, he cut off all his hair because he was about to go to jail. Why, when he's talking about how he felt in that moment, the nigga had a whole ponytail hair down his back? I'm like, how you watching something that's supposedly already happened and you got a whole ponytail? Your hair did not grow back that fast. And plus, in that particular episode, he was supposed to be preparing to go to jail. And I'm like, ever since I saw that, I'm like, nah. And then plus, I know somebody who actually was on Hustle in Brooklyn, and I know her in real life, and I see her on that show, and that's not, like, she's way, like, more chill in real life. So a lot of the times for the shows, they hype up shit. Honestly, I feel like if he did do that shit, and for him to feel comfortable enough he needs to go to jail for that shit. But then again, if she hit him first, it would make sense. But it seems like she was just sitting there. He jumped up on her like he had no sense.
I'm confused as why all the other Black men who were sitting there didn't jump up and try.
Honestly, my god brother, and it's crazy because like growing up, my god brother, he didn't have a father, and the reason why he didn't have a father is because his father saw this guy beating on this lady at a club. He tried to break it up, and the guy that shot and killed him. So I understand why people don't get involved with stuff like that. So I totally understand. That's because like that was a life story that I, from when I was young. So I understand why people don't get involved, but I'm like, in a situation like that, that nigga ain't have no gun. He shouldn't have had no gun. They was on stage for a recording. If he would have had the gun, that shit would have been real messy. But maybe they should have stepped up and helped. But then again, like I said, you like how you're saying we don't know the whole story. I feel like the whole story is important too, because she probably did some slick shit that really, really provoked him. And we shouldn't be provoking these Black men, but at the same time, these Black men should be strong enough to the point where if they do get provoked, try not to put your hands on a woman.
And then other Black men needs to, and then other Black men needs to hold, and then other Black men needs to hold these abusive Black men accountable.
They do, honestly, but it's just, and I don't know what it is, but it makes me so mad when people get, like, they just sit there, they act like they can't fight back. I don't like that. I feel like as a woman, you're supposed to fight back regardless. Somebody put their hands on you, you're bad.
a man, but we don't. Not all of us have a man's strength. Not like very few of us
I
do.
don't care. That's the
So
thing. We really don't have a man's strength, but at least you could say you stood up for yourself because at least you could say you tried.
yeah, but
But if
how
you
much
just
can you
sit
stand up for
there,
yourself? It's obvious that she's used to that type of treatment. She probably saw that shit coming a mile away.
I'm
So
surprised
I
because
can imagine how he treats her at home. Because
that's what I'm saying.
before that happened, she was just and girl, the way she was talking to him, talking about some time is money, and you don't pay no bills in my house, and blah 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 blah, and
Oh,
you
she
know,
fucked with his ego.
obviously a certain way that you need to treat your significant other, and Dell
She
brought
fucked
him,
with his ego. So
yeah,
that's the
and
part
Dell
that's being
talked
left out. Like
him
you
growing
shouldn't be
apples
saying
in
those
your
things
face.
publicly. My bad. You
Yeah,
shouldn't be saying those things publicly though. Because even if your man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, don't make it known that you're staying with a nigga that's not supposed to be doing what, he's that's not doing what he's supposed to be doing because then everybody know that you're staying with a nigga that ain't shit. And now they know that you're staying with a nigga that's beating your ass too. So that's why I feel away. I feel like she should have definitely tried to defend herself, but now you're gonna sit there and look like a freaking like a Jamaican gonna say a yam head, but she looks like a freaking
a
clown.
yam head.
Yeah, they call them yam heads. I don't know why. They even got a song called Yam Bella. That's like just those stupid ass girls. Like, listen,
But yeah, girl. So that was that whole situation, and that and the Meg Thee Stallion situation goes hand in hand. Even though there wasn't a gun involved with this one, involved with the whole Tahiri situation. Like I really want to know the whole story and the way that this Tahiri situation was set up. It was just set up to where it just made him. It made it seem like he just popped off for no reason. There's always a reason, not unless he's a crazy, just one of them crazy ass niggas that'll slap a bitch because the wind blowing. But he was obviously mad about something, not
okay,
justifying,
so I now
but
basically, like I said, Tahiri
some
is
men,
somebody that I actually follow. She spoke on it,
yeah, she did. But some men, if you do hit them, they will hit you back. I'm just saying. This
and
was
you
just
just be
delayed.
prepared to hit back. Y'all gonna be going blow for blow.
Yeah, but not all women, not all women can fight. You can't fight a man constantly. You just can't fight a guy. That's like Betty White hitting The Rock. You know he'll knock her old ass out.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I'm glad that I work out. That's why I'm glad that I'm physically fit. Because honestly, and then also, like I said, me personally, I grew up with two older brothers that one of them, he didn't give a fuck about me being a girl. We used to fist fight. And I appreciate that because at the end of the day, we used to fight. Like I used to fight with my sister. I had one brother that would not hit a girl. So I could never fight him. He would not hit a girl. Like he'll go tell my mom before he actually hit you. Like if he
Even
hits you,
that
he had to be
one
mad,
guy,
mad.
even that one guy who won't hit a girl, if you push him far enough,
He will. That's what I was gonna say. It was this one time my sister kept provoking him, and mind you, he was playing his game, and he to this day he's grown as hell. He still don't play about his game, but he stopped playing that game to slap her ass when, and it was like she kept provoking him and provoking him and like so I get it, but I feel like hearing the background of what I mean, reading now that I've read to hear it from her point of view, she's saying that it's real. So now,
yeah.
like I said, she's somebody that I follow because, like I said, I remember her from back in the day, and I actually rate her. I like her. A Jamaican would say rate. That means that you really fuck with somebody. But I like her. She's cool. I mean, I'm over here like I rate her. You like, bitch, what? I like her. She's cool based off of like her vibe and her energy. But she basically was saying how it's real and she hates the fact that she has to share it with the world to see. But I think that some people actually need to see that because a lot of people actually deal with stuff like that and then they're afraid to come forward. And if you deal with shit like that, you need to beat the nigga up and then leave. That's it. Like just take yourself, go to the gym, take a few boxing classes, and make sure just tell him you want to shoot the fair ones. Like just tell him you want to fight. If he win, he win, and y'all go your separate ways. But you're not about to be sitting here not providing for me because you said that she was talking about how he doesn't even pay bills and shit.
Yeah, really just degrading the fuck out of him as a man. Like
It's
a lot of
crazy
women,
because
especially a lot of black women, we think that being loud and arguing back and saying things to cut the other person down, that's being tough and just trying to win the argument. But there's power in the tongue. You can really emasculate the black man by
with a Virgo tongue, especially because when we start talking our shit, we start talking our shit. We telling you about you and your mama, your cousin, and everybody. And the shit we gonna say is gonna be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and you're gonna be mad because you can't even say we lied on you to make you feel bad. We actually told yourself the truth about yourself, and now you in your feelings.
But does the truth need to be for everybody else to hear? There's a way that you can tell somebody the truth.
Honestly, that's how I feel. Like I feel like with the relationship, and it's like when you're like I had to go through this to like learn, but like especially now because I'm married. But when you have issues, as far as like going and telling the whole world that this person is not providing for you, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's like, okay, so why the fuck are you with them? Oh shit, he beating her ass too. Now you with a nigga that's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he's beating you, and it makes you look low, and and that's not good. And for Tahiri, like I feel bad for her, but she is one of those people where she just has it's like how sometimes you're just attracted to certain shit.
She do be running her mouth.
She's just attracted to certain things.
Yeah, so hopefully they aren't together anymore and she had enough sense to leave, because if he'll do that while some cameras are on him, girl.
Imagine what they're gonna do when the camera's not rolling. Like that's the one thing, but at the end of the day, he should have never played himself like that, because like I said, like it's hard because guys, they're not really the type to argue. They're really not. They're more physical than verbal. So that's probably like, the only
niggas, they'll fight other niggas, but there are some that'll fight a woman faster than they'll fight a man.
Yeah. That's the crazy part. And like I said, it would be good to at least know the full story, but I feel like they should, like, me personally, if I know I'm on camera, my shit gonna be picture perfect. Like, I think that's some Virgo shit. Like, we gonna make sure our shit. That's why when Beyonce was fucking Jay-Z up in the elevator, they was like,
that wasn't. You're the second person to get that wrong. That was Solange.
Oh, Solange, whatever. But the thing about it is that still, like, Beyonce was there from what I heard, or from what I remember. She was there, right?
She was there. She was standing right there. But she was like Homer disappearing into the bushes. Soon as Solange started swinging,
she probably knew there was cameras. She probably knew there was cameras. She probably did this shit off camera. Like, what's that?
Oh, my makeup bag. She was like, I'm not.
I thought you were showing me something, but girl.
And then when they walked out of the building, you could see like the pictures of them walking out of the building after the scuffle. And Solange, she had her stank face. And Beyonce, she had a big old smirk on her face, like.
Because at the end of the day,
get shit together, like they go in that car, we go in the other car, and trying to make it seem like then shit just happened. So,
but that
shit was hilarious.
It's funny that you said that. Like Beyonce probably knew there was cameras, but at the end of the day, I don't know what happened on that elevator, but at the end of the day, I feel like Beyonce was like, she was with the shit. She ain't try to break it up, nothing, from what I remember.
Well,
so that's
we know
what I was like,
because of the camera, but we don't know why.
Exactly. And the thing is that with the type of person Beyonce is, you never really don't know why. You're just gonna be wondering.
I'm gonna go off camera for 2 seconds. I gotta check on my chicken.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the money awards.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you guys who are tuning in, if you go on my page, I know I have a couple of public posts, so whether or not we're friends, you should be able to see some of what I'm talking about. But I joined money boards, and basically the ones that I joined, it has like, so for example, I had a $25 board. That was one that I actually joined on July 22nd, and I got cashed out today. So the payout was $200, right? So that's one of the board options. I have a $100 board that I'm in. Peaches is also in the group with us. So if you wanted to join with that one, is also my turn to get paid. That one is $100, and then pretty much with the $100, it turns into $8. I do want to kind of show you my Cash App, but I kind of messed it up because I actually did some withdrawals. But 250 is where my balance is now. But I had 300. I had 500. I cashed out 200 because I got paid today, so that's gonna be in my bank account. But then with the other 250, I took $25 and I went in two separate boards. So that $25 is also gonna turn into $200 whenever it's my turn to get paid again. A lot of people thought it was a scam, but it's really not a scam. Hold on. If I could show y'all all the Cash Apps. So it's just a group of people that's like gifting you money. And then basically a lot of us are reinvesting. Like with me, because I cashed out today, I put $25 in, I cashed out with 200. I went back in and I helped two people, which was the two boards after me, because at the end of the day, me helping them by sending them $25 is helping them level up so that this way another person can get paid, right? And then aside from another person getting paid, I also put in another hand on the board. So I did that twice today. So when I get that and I cash out again, that's going to be another $400. So two for one hand, two from the other. The $100 one that I'm in, I've been in this one for going on 3 weeks. I've been in the pay spot since last Friday. From that, I got $300. And then now I'm waiting because once I get to $800, that means I'm cashing out. And with that one, I plan to do the same. Like once the boards, because once with the way how the groups work is that it's like a circle. So I know a lot of y'all probably seen it on your timeline, but basically the circle, it splits into two. So after you get paid out in your group, it's going to be two separate groups. So with me, I would put 100 in one group and then 100 in the other group, walk with my 600, right? And then wait for the other two to cash out again. So a lot of people is like, oh, it's a scam because basically it works off of recruiting. So the more people, the faster people get paid out. But also with the groups that I'm in, we have like-minded people who are actually reinvesting. Because when you take your money and you actually reinvest into the boards, it eliminates you having to find a person because you just became that person. So it's like you receive your blessing, you bless the board again. And then, that helps the rotation, but you're also supposed to share the information to try to get people to come on board. And the thing is that it was moving a lot faster, but the longer you wait, the further in line you are, and it takes longer. But the average timing is about 3 to 4 weeks for payout. The first one, like I said, it took 1-2 weeks, and the other one, it was a week and a day. I have two more that I'm in that I've been in for about 2 weeks now, and I haven't got cashed out from those, but those are bigger groups. So whenever you guys decide to do this, join a small group, which I have two small groups that I can refer you to. One is for 25 and one is for 100. Okay, so are you back yet? I feel like I was just talking for forever. I said, are you back yet? I feel like I was talking for forever.
Yep. We'll hold it for a minute.
Okay.
Whew. Okay. All right.
Yes.
But
So I told him about the cash board, so that's covered. Somebody, I gotta check my messages as soon as we get off of here. All right, so we covered that. What else I wanted to talk about?
Nicki Minaj's husband.
What about, first of all, I don't know how I like Miss Nicki Minaj, and the last thing I heard about Nicki Minaj was that she was pregnant and everybody was going crazy. But what's going on now with her husband?
Her husband had to file petition. Well, he has to. He has to file petitions for a judge to allow him to be present at the hospital for their baby's birth.
Because he's a child, they have him classified as a child molester, don't they? That's fucked up. And honestly, if you actually know the story, they said it was something about the girl was 16 and he was like 20.
I don't know the full story, but Nicki, she be defending her husband.
She has to, because he went to jail, he did his time, but it wasn't even like a situation where I think it was statutory by age, but the child was in compliance and she was like 16. And honestly, when I think about 16, I know at 16, I didn't want a high school guy. I wanted an older guy that was 20, 21. Somebody with a car that could do shit, that could probably buy me liquor if I wanted to drink, which I
So
never
you was
really
a
did shit like that.
fast ass little hussy.
I wasn't fast because I wasn't talking to nobody. But if I was gonna talk to
But you
somebody, it wasn't
wanted
gonna be
to.
no.
You wanted
I
to.
didn't. I didn't want to. I just knew that if I was going to talk to somebody, it wasn't going to be no little ass high school boy that can't do shit for me. And it's crazy because I'm not the type of person that wants people that can do stuff for me. But I like people that's like, you had at least, I used to like people that had cars. If you didn't have a car, I was good with that. You actually had to at least be older with some ambition and a job. You cannot be in high school trying to talk to, well, that's how I was at 16, me personally. And honestly, I didn't even have boyfriends. I used to just, people used to be wondering, like, they used to think I had somebody because that's just the way I am. But I'm not dating no high school boy I wasn't dating no high school boy in high school. I wanted me an older man. I used to
Me.
like older guys.
Mm, mm, mm.
But I used to
Uh,
like them, but I wasn't pulling them because I ain't go nowhere.
okay, okay.
I was home. Like I used to be
State
like,
your
if
case.
God,
State your
if
case.
you said state my case. What do you mean?
I mean, you just kept saying over and over again. You know, I was like, hey, no, but I wanted one.
For real, because yes, you don't even understand. Like my state of the way how I used to think is that I was so picky with my guys. It was bad. It was bad. Like the guys that even to this day, well, I'm married now, but the guys that like me, I never liked them. And then the guys that I like it's like I'd be too scared to tell them that I like them. That's how I've been my whole life. Like the guys that like me, they used to annoy me. I'm like, bro, don't. I think you had a better chance of me liking you is if I didn't know that you like me. Yeah. That's even with my husband. When I met my husband, I didn't meet him on no dating shit. Because if he would have been flirting with me, it would have made me feel like, oh, he only wants one thing. Like we just had a genuine ass friendship. You understand? So that's how I feel like all relationships should be. But I'm not gonna be dating nobody I gotta see every day. That's probably why I'm in a long distance relationship now. But you know, high school drama. I used to see my brothers with girlfriends in the drama, so I wasn't a fan of that. Did you have boyfriends in high school?
I've never had a boyfriend before.
Ever? Like not one boyfriend? How?
I wasn't allowed to date, and then after my mom passed away, I wasn't. I just wasn't in that mindset. Oh, let me get a boyfriend, and it wasn't like that throughout my 20s. No,
So you never had a boyfriend? Like nobody that you liked?
you know,
So are you a virgin too?
close to it.
Close to it. That means you done stuff, but you ain't do everything. That's crazy.
Actually, no, because well, let me go back up. I'm not a virgin, but my love life physically is bland as fuck. Actually, I did give my virginity to somebody that we went to school with.
Okay. But it was never a relationship, it was just you trying something, or how did that go?
I thought it was a relationship.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. That's why I feel like that's another reason why I
Actually,
wasn't a fan of guys because a lot of them just want that one thing. So that's why I never really had boyfriends like that either until like I was grown, like out of high school.
let me see if you can recognize him.
Why
I'm
is it
gonna.
frozen?
Oh, it's frozen because of me.
Oh, I don't want to play this song till you get back with the picture. No more than this. I just hope
Okay,
your
I
heart
sent you a message on Messenger.
stays.
Let me see if you can hold on to that.
Oh,
Let me see if
let
you
me
can
see.
recognize him.
No, because he looks like he doesn't even look my age. He looks like way older.
He is older. He's 2 years. Well, is he what?
Dang, but
One.
he don't. He made like for somebody who's like only 2 years older than me, he's making me feel oh. I'm looking through the pictures. I saw a picture of him when it looks like he was younger. He looks familiar in this particular photo. He went to
He
West
was a
Mac, you said?
cool. And then he
Yeah.
grew up in the same neighborhood as me. So
Mm.
like he already knew what the deal was with me. So I hate to be the whole, cliche, oh, he said everything right that, the girl wants to hear and blah 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 and I was 23 when I finally did it. So I waited late and I was like, well, if this is what it's going to be, then I'd rather not date at all. So I just haven't even bothered.
Girl, let me just tell you this. It's because you got into the game late, boo. It's gonna be okay. No, let me just let me get real with you. Like honestly, that's why I'm kind of glad that I had the experience from young because from young, like I said, if you notice how when I met my husband or when I took meet guys, I don't like guys that flirt with me because it's way too obvious that they only want that one thing. That's how most guys are. They tell you all the sweet shit until they get you, and then when they get you, they a brand new motherfucker. And that's just the sad part. And I learned that from young. So I was able to keep my body count low. Too bad I'm not an almost virgin like you. But I was still able to keep my body count low because when I be talking to other girls, I'm like, damn, you had sex with how many people? Like, how, like, how,
Yeah,
why?
I had a
So I,
coworker and she was really free with telling me, "Oh, I met this nigga this weekend and he took me to the hotel and he fucking da 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 da."
like,
And I'm
why
like,
are you doing that? Like, people
"What
don't even understand.
the fuck?"
Girl.
He was like, "Yeah, yeah,
So,
his
yeah.
homeboy was in the room with us and blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Damn, bitch, fuck!" Like she was really out there. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
But yeah,
like,
some people,
it's
I'm going to
easier
tell
to
you.
believe. It's easier. I see why it's easier to believe that women. I don't know what the whole stigma is with black women. It's easier to believe that a female has been ran the fuck through because people, human beings, they just start having sex at a young age. Not everybody, obviously, but I don't know why you feel like, I don't know why people feel the need, especially kids feel the need to just lay down and, have sex with anybody. That's never been me. And I mean, plus I wasn't raised like that, but once I got older to make my own decisions of, wanting to date, I just never wanted to date. Like I was really waiting for my husband and I thought that would be it.
Yeah.
Stuck in my face. So
But
until
yeah, girl. But at the end
I'll
of the
be
day, it's
act like
like,
I don't care.
you know how it's crazy because guys always talking about girls cheating, and then like for a long time, I'm like, I used to think people used to be bugging because it's normally the guys that cheat. But then the older I got, I realized how much girls out there really be hoes. So now I understand. I'm like, oh, I'm not average because it's girls that I know that they literally have like an argument with their boyfriend today and they cheating on him tomorrow. And I'm like, they like, I don't understand it.
And
Like,
they
I
end
don't
up getting
understand it.
pregnant by the other nigga.
Yeah. Yo, I was in the gas station the other day. Mind you, I'm married, right? And I have on my mask. And then after I'm in the store and the one thing I heard was this one guy, he's telling the cashier, he was like, my wife cheated on me and got pregnant by the next nigga. So then I'm just, minding my business. And then, mind you, remember, I'm married. So I'm sitting in the car and this other guy comes up to my car. He's like, yo, you're so beautiful. I want to talk to you. I said, first of all, I'm married. Secondly, I got a mask on. How the fuck can you tell me that I'm beautiful, my nigga?
First of all, don't walk up on me because I keep a
He
strap, nigga.
He was like, "Oh, the eyes alone." I'm like, niggas are so weird. This is why, like, a guy like that, even if I was single, I'm not dating you. Like, you don't even know
So,
how I look,
so if you
and
have
you
the
tell me
mask on,
I'm
if you have
beautiful.
a mask on and a nigga walk up to you, what if your grill was just fucked up and you took the mask down and you look like
That's
a
what I'm
fucking hillbilly,
saying.
like, but you still beautiful, you still want to talk, you still want to talk, nigga, you
That's what
still
I'm
want
saying. That's how you know when guys just want that one thing. Like guys don't be looking to grow. Like 9 out of 10 times, a guy is not looking to grow. They're looking for somebody that they can have sex with, and that's why I'm so glad I'm off the
and
dating
they will
scene.
do the most. I had a nigga. This was like earlier this summer. Was it? What did we have the masks? No, it was before the mask, before the whole thing. But it was. earlier this year. I'm walking from the store to my, because there used to be a store near my apartment. So I'm walking across the street down into my neighborhood. This guy, he was in the truck and he goes past me out of the parking lot. So you know how you just standing there waiting and somebody he just went past. He must have busted a fucking U-turn into the parking lot, into next to the parking lot next to my apartments that I was, gonna walk down into. He gets out of his truck, pumps his truck to where I'm gonna walk down, and gets out of his truck trying to wave me down. And then I'll walk past him and he's like up on the hill trying to get my attention. So he must have ran down the hill and then came and tapped me on my shoulder because I told you you're very beautiful. Nigga, back up.
Yo, it's crazy because
You might have went
like
through the
that happens.
just know. And
First
first
of
of
all,
all,
that could be nah, hold on, pause.
as women, we know who is full of shit, who we want to talk to, and who we don't want to talk to. I've been rejecting niggas long enough to know when somebody's on some bullshit or when you just a stank ass nigga. And this nigga look like he eats Newports for breakfast. So, like nigga, you look like you got your GED, and I'm sorry, you gotta have a master's to fuck with me. So,
But that's the thing, though. It's so hard because I can't say that you don't, that you will never meet a good person. But it's just that the sad, like, I think over time, like I said, I don't like meeting people under the impression of like, oh yeah, we're gonna date, we're gonna get together. Because a lot of the times when you meet people like that, it's like you set so much expectations because y'all like each other. So y'all gonna do shit that, to make sure that y'all like each other. But if you meet somebody that you don't give a fuck about, like my husband when I met him, it's like you get to show him the real you. You ain't got to worry about being judged or none of that. It's just somebody that's like a friend and y'all just kick it.
and that's the thing. I'm not trying to impress no fucking body. So if
Yeah.
I show you the ugly me, like first of all, like this right here, like when if you see me in bed without no clothes on, and you see me sitting on the toilet and taking a deuce, and you still want to talk to me, and you see me without my hair twisted, and I'm looking a fucking mess, and I'm walking out the house, or like making a run to the store with no bra on, and you still want to fuck with me, and I'm ashy as
Mm,
fuck, and you still want to fuck with me, like,
mm-hmm.
okay, maybe I might be able to fuck with you, but we have to be able to be receptive to that other person too, because that other person has flaws just like you do. Like, I don't know, he might be the nigga that doesn't know how to wipe his ass good or some shit like that.
Mm.
Or
That's the
you know,
crazy part. Like I be thinking about it, like,
constantly just sleep or calls his mama every time he has a problem like that. I probably won't even deal with. But yeah, girl. So, we can't be picky, but then again, we have to be discerning at the same time. So,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's hard because when I be thinking like, cause like I said, you've never been. You said you've only had like one little boyfriend situation, right?
that wasn't even a
But
boyfriend situation.
you thought it was, but you see how like the whatever. I'm sure you had types, conversations and things like that before it actually.
Of course. That's why I thought, what I thought.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like that's the unfortunate part. And I'd be so glad that I learned from a young age because I'm like, that's just most guys. And it's 2020, so I can imagine how it's probably even worse now because a lot of these niggas
It's
really
worse. And I'm old school. I'm old school as fuck. Like when I say I wasn't raised in a household to where, where you do shit, I mean, I probably would have had the chance, but I wasn't in that mindset. Like, like when I was 16, I thought like a 16-year-old. I was just trying to fucking graduate from high school and get
but it's
this
crazy because
life.
I think it's the Virgo in you because growing up, like my brothers was always on the streets. My sister, she's younger than me. She was always out on the streets. I was just home doing my schoolwork, trying to make sure I finished school so that this way I can get to the paper. Like that
Yeah.
was my main focus. I wasn't worried about guys.
And then everybody else, girls that would show up back to school after summer break and they would be full on pregnant. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? You
During
were
the summer, you didn't
obviously
read a book this summer.
fucking before the
I mean,
summer came around. So you found out you were pregnant during the summer and you came back to school with a full belly.
I
So,
remember being
so
in that's crazy because that's West Meck for you. Like I didn't see pregnant people in New York. Not to say it doesn't happen, but I do remember being in West Meck and I think it was sisters that was pregnant, and then one of them she had breast milk, bro. Now that I'm a mom, I'm trying to figure out how the hell because she used to be leaking. I'm like, I'm a mom, and with both of my kids, I didn't get no breast milk until after my babies were born. The breast milk came in like a day or two later. How this girl was still pregnant, and then she had breast milk
it'll leak
leaking.
out. It'll leak out a little bit. It'll still leak
But
out.
mine's never, now I'm telling you, mine didn't leak not a drop until after. Because even when I was
So
first
wait,
breastfeeding,
were they letting her pump at school?
no, her breast was just like, you know how you could, like, you know how, because I remember her needing the breast pads. She had a situation where her shirt was wet. And I was like, bro, honestly, to me, I think that happens when you let guys suck on your titties too much, too. Because the breast milk is produced from because like I said, when my babies were born and I put them on my breast, there was no breast milk. Even when I was trying to pump, I'm like, there's nothing coming in, and the lactation, whatever you call it, the breast milk people, lactation, or like the
Lactation.
lactician. Yeah, the
Lactation.
lactician. She was like, just keep pumping, keep trying to feed, it's gonna come in. And it came in after a day or two. So I don't know how, but everybody's body is different. But I was just like, bro, I
And
need
in
that
my
kind of milk.
mind, I'm still thinking these are children having children. So
Yeah,
you're
that
a
could have a lot to
child
do with it too.
before the age of 18, even afterwards, you still have a mindset of a child. I wouldn't even call that a young adult. So you're a child laying down having sex, letting some boy who can't even take care of himself do whatever to you. And then you
Mhm.
have another life to take care of. So your youth is gone. I don't know why people our age and young and teenagers who still get pregnant feel like they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. You can't, because now there's a whole nother life in this world that you have to answer for.
And
So
it's sad because, like, when Americans get pregnant, in America, they look at the mom. But in places like Jamaica, they be like, where the father at? The father gonna take care of the baby, and then the guys be stressing because they feel like because they're the father, they're the ones who have to provide. I'm like, suppose you don't have it. Like that's why in Jamaica, a lot of the women they have sex with guys for money, and if you don't have money, they're not messing with you. Like that's the sad part because it's like a lot of the times with the kids, the fathers are the one that actually take care of the kids. The mothers, like most situations, the women are not the breadwinners. And it's like crazy because I never understood why people only had sex with people for money. But once you have kids and you realize, like, because this girl that I know, she was getting like $500 on my child support and she was complaining. I'm like, sis, I don't get nothing. So you got to take
girl,
that $500 and be happy as shit because
shit.
I don't get a
Hell
dime.
yeah. Now $500 with your job, which you should be working.
Exactly. You're set for life. And then people get that and they complain. But with people like me, I'm unfortunate where it's like if I wasn't fucking guys that had money and so I never thought about that. But when you actually have kids, you're like, oh shit, I'm stuck taking care of kids by myself. You know,
And that's why I don't fuck with the whole child support,
I don't
thing,
do child
that
support
whole
either.
issue, because what you're laying down with somebody you barely even know, and you don't even know if they can take care of you. Now, if you tell them that you're pregnant and they say, "Well, it's not mine," blah 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 blah, you go through that whole bullshit, and they don't even want to take care of their kids, or if they do and they can't because they're not in that financial space, and then you want to be an asshole and put them on child support, which they can't afford. What was the point? So now you're sending a black man to jail for something that he can even barely do.
The thing is that it's not even that he can't do it because that's bullshit. Like honestly, me personally, I don't believe in child support, but I do
Me
believe that you
neither.
can I believe that you can, as a father, like to me, I'm not doing child support because I feel like it's a situation where if the man is not voluntarily and willingly taking care of their seed that they put on this earth, then I'm not gonna force you to do some shit. Like you gonna have to live with that. You just gonna have to live with that. Like I don't got time to be going back and forth just to get money from some. I like no. I would rather
Begging
take
you to
care of
take
my
care of their
kids
child.
because when your kids get older, they're gonna know who was there and who wasn't there. Because if some people get child support money, but at the end of the day, they still don't get that mental, emotional connection with the child don't get that money is going to the mom. The child don't get that mental, emotional support from their dad that they actually need. So
Ex-
even people, so it's not even about the money. Like it's a situation where when you having kids, it's very important to make sure that you have kids with somebody. And like I had to learn the hard way, it's important to have kids with somebody that's going to be there mentally and emotionally for the kids. Like just no matter what, like whether or not they got money to give or not, you need to be there for those kids because it's not always about the money. And even when it comes down to like, if you and the mom is not together, the child lives with the mom. How about you come pick your child up sometimes? It's crazy because you do got the moms that purposely keep their kids away from their baby daddies, and I don't understand that because I'm like, sis, you need a break. Let the fucking man come get the kids to give you a break because I need a break. Tell him come get mine.
exactly. But then they
So,
want to be like, well, he ain't going to over to his house because I don't know who he be having around my kids, and I don't want no other bitch around my kids. That other bitch
now,
can
honestly,
change a
it's so
fucking diaper.
hard because it's
That
like with
bitch.
me, this is how I feel. With me, my daughter's father, right? He has a prostitute girlfriend. I don't want my kid around her because you sell your own pussy for money. What makes
What?
you think you won't turn
She
exact? Well, the
know?
thing exactly, it's crazy because, like I said, the thing is that he say it's not his girlfriend, but I basically had to stop my kids from going over there because I don't want them around that lifestyle. I
Her
don't.
bathroom probably smell like vinegar.
I don't want my kids around that. I'm sorry. So it's like I told Tyrell he needs to get a real girlfriend and like a proper wife because
His
I be needing a
name is
break.
Tyrone.
It's not Tyrone. It's Tyrell. But I
Oh,
told him,
call Tyrone.
yeah, I didn't realize, but I told him that I said, listen, you need to get a like, cause I need a break. I want you to find yourself a wife and settle down. The prostitute girl, he says, is not his girlfriend, but she's always there. She took a charge for him. Yo, girl, because there's one time he was telling me, oh, because I think I had asked him to watch the kids and he couldn't. And then he's like, "Oh, I got this going on. I was driving with my friend, and because mind you, he never says it's his girlfriend, but I'm convinced it's his girlfriend because she's always there." But anyways, he said how he had some stuff on him, and she took the charge. Basically, she
She
took the
must,
charge.
he must be her pimp. He has to be her pimp.
Exactly. That's why I say girlfriend because clearly, that's how I think. And it was a time when, like, not too long ago, they were both in jail. I didn't even look up the charges. They was in there for a few months too. So at the end of the day, I'm
Damn.
sorry. I want my kids to have a stepmother to where I could be like, listen, I'm dropping Queen off with y'all this weekend. I'm about to get a break. I want that for myself and my kids because this way she'll get to spend more time with her dad. But I'm not dropping my kid off if you got prostitutes around you. I'm sorry. I understand stripping, but I don't understand having sex for money. Like people who have sex for money, that means that they will have raw, unprotected sex with somebody that probably has HIV for
And
money if
then
the price
and
is
then she
right.
gonna come home and sit on that toilet seat with her nasty ass and
So
vinegar.
honestly,
Her bathroom smells
when
like
you
vinegar.
say when you say like, oh, I don't want you around it, like honestly, that's me because of the situation. Like I don't want, and my other baby daddy who died, right? He had a girlfriend. I'm mad that he died because I'm like, bro, you know how much of a break I could have got? The girlfriend was
Girl,
the girlfriend was cool, and then I was like, dang. Now it's like honestly, the part that hurt me the most is that I wanted my daughter to have a relationship with her dad, of course, but he died in a car accident. But then I'm like, dang, like, cause my dad is alive, but he's distant, so I don't have that mental and emotional. That's why I always say it don't even matter how much money you have. That mental and emotional support from your father is more important than anything
and
that
that's
money could
probably
ever buy.
why I'd rather be single because I had my father in my life. I had both of my parents, and they told me what I needed to hear to have to have that security within myself to know that no man is going to treat you better than your father. Well, at least I feel like
See,
so.
you had that, but I'm sure I don't know what Tahiri's situation is, but I'm telling you, with the type of men she be dealing with, I'm like, baby,
I think they had an episode of Love and Hip Hop where her and her sister they were on the show when their dad was abusive and all that stuff. So I
that's
can't
why
speak to
she's
that.
attracted to it.
I can't speak to that because my dad's marriage to my mom was the second time around, and so was hers. That was her second marriage. So, and I was the youngest. So, I don't want to say my other siblings were jealous, but they were able to see my dad do it better the second time around.
Yeah. So
So,
you said
like,
you were the youngest, so they got to
I mean,
see. Yeah, so they got to see you have your dad, and that probably made them feel so good because they have a different dad, right?
they had young him, back in the 60s and the 70s, back when, people were beating their kids, and not beating their kids, but, beating
Oh,
their
you were
kids.
the spoiled baby, like my baby brother and sister that get away with fucking murder. That if I did that shit when I was little, my mama would have knocked me out. Like, I know what you're talking about when you say the babies. Like, I promise you, by the time your parents get to the last kid is always the one that like you spoil the most. They're the baby forever, basically. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part. But I know
and
what you're talking about.
my dad and my mom, they just did things different the second time around. When they settled down, they settled down. Like my mom didn't
When you
blind
say second
herself.
time around, like are you saying they were married and divorced and then remarried?
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. So they were married, then divorced, and then remarried to the same person?
no, to different people. Each,
Oh, because when you say the second time around, I'm about to say, like, oh, well, that's
yeah,
good.
because my sister,
What?
my sister, she's 10 years older than me. She's from my mom's first marriage. So my mom
Okay,
married her first husband when she was like 25. I came around when my mom was 35, and then my dad, his kids were in their late 20s, early
I
30s.
get it.
So everybody just were able to see, like, my mom didn't buy her first home or do anything that, she didn't progress when she was with her first husband. And, it was just, my dad was on some old school
I
shit,
get what you're saying. Like, it
when,
was a better relationship for her, and it allowed
yeah,
for her
and
to, like,
then
level up in life and shit. And
exactly. And
then
then
you
with
were the
his first wife,
baby.
and then with his first wife, he had a side baby, hence my sister Peggy. So that was some drama when, my older siblings were younger because, like I said, down in Monroe, everybody's fucking related. One of my aunt's messy ass neighbors, everybody knew everybody, but the kids, they didn't know everything. So one of my aunt's messy ass neighbors saying, "Oh, Lisa, there go your sister," da 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 da, and that's how the secret was out of the bag.
Mm.
So just so so that's that's them. That's how they were raised. Like he wasn't abusive or anything like that, but people make mistakes. He didn't
Yes.
dare do that with my mom, but you just did it better. With the second marriage and the second child, and
That's
oftentimes I
crazy.
hear, yeah,
I
oftentimes
be
I hear
thinking about
that.
stuff like that. But
But
it's crazy because Willow, they talked about that. You know how Will Smith has an older son, Trey, from his
Trey,
previous marriage. Yeah,
yeah,
they basically talked about, when he went on with Jada or whatever, it was a situation where he kind of felt left out. I'm like, it kind of sucks, but then the fact is that at least he still had it wasn't a situation where, he wasn't allowed to come there. Like, he still
yeah,
had the
same thing
relationship, but
with
it's,
my sister, because my sister, she'll complain and she'll go into her angry rant talking about something. Everybody else in the house has the last name Puritan, but except me, and da 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 da, and
oh,
so
you gotta understand, that's like something that she has, like, it's like, that's an issue she gotta
and when
work
you were
out.
younger, everybody gave everything to you, and blah 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 blah. And you used to get all these toys and all these birthday
Yeah,
parties,
she's
and
jealous.
I didn't get shit, and blah 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 blah. How did you not get shit, bitch? You had a roof over your head.
You got 10 years. She got shit that you ain't get because you said she's 10 years older, right?
Yeah, you had a roof over your head. I mean, my dad wasn't with my mom for those 10 years, but like my dad came around when my sister was like
But
eight,
still, she
eight
was
and a
alive
half
for
and
10 years
9.
before you. Like, she still got stuff that you didn't get a chance to experience because you wasn't born for 10 years.
Yeah, because like when she was little, my mom took her to concerts. She saw fucking New Edition when New Edition was a thing. You know how expensive it was to see New Edition back in the day? The fuck? So, and then even when my sister became a teenager, she was taught how to drive. I wasn't taught how to drive. I'm 30 years
Mm.
old and I'm just now learning how to drive. So she
Mm-hmm.
was taught how to drive. She got an extra phone line in the house that my mom was really willing to pay for. So she had her own
Mm.
phone line. um like you were able to go out and do all this stuff. But I was talking to one of my sister's friends that she grew up with, and she said that my mom was trying to please my dad and my sister because my sister felt left out, but my dad felt like my mom shouldn't, pacify her or spoil her with things, because you can't throw money at a situation and make it better. So my sister, she was
Yeah.
able to, like drop out of school and, we'd be rebellious and do whatever the hell she wanted, sneak out of the house. And it got to the point where my dad had to nail my sister's bedroom window shut from the outside because she would sneak out of
Mm.
the house and steal my mom's car.
Yeah, that's they. You know, with kids like that, they act out because they're lacking. Like I said, that's why it's important to have her father just wasn't there, because even if her father wasn't there physically, that's why I say it's important to have a good emotional and mental relationship with your
But it
father,
wasn't,
because
here's the thing, from what I was told, it wasn't always like that, because when my sister was younger, my dad came around like 8.5, 9 years old. And then I came along like right after. But before I came along, she was, well, that's probably where it comes from. I guess she got all the attention, and she was real close with my other sisters and brothers from my dad's side. And she would go and spend the night. And, it was just a whole thing until I came along.
mm, like I said, a lot of it unfortunately has to do with jealousy, and it's sad because we as Black women, we deal with jealousy within our families, within our quote unquote friendships, with people that we just come in contact with, that they're jealous of you for shit you have no control over.
Yeah, like, I didn't ask to be here. So, like, when my dad and my mom would be at work and my sister would have to babysit me, leave me at the house by myself. Um, I would come home from school and I would catch her fucking. That happened twice. Yeah. She would take me on the city bus into all hours of the night, and I wouldn't know where the fuck we were. And then we would come home, and my parents would piss the fuck off because she would have me out with her so-called friends and around a whole bunch of niggas. And yeah, my
Mm,
sister been reckless. Yeah, and like I said, she dropped out of high school. She went to West Met, dropped out of
mm,
West Met, and girl, this is the same person I told you she was in with the fifth grade and was selling condoms at the school.
mm-hmm.
The fuck? So my sister always
Yeah,
been, and then she's an Aries, like I said, born April 1st. So
Aries.
a hot
Anyway,
ass fucking mess.
I know I have my Aries, my husband and my oldest daughter, and then my youngest daughter is a Libra, so I just got Aries and Libra like all over me, and they drive me
I'm sorry to
crazy.
hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Aries and Libras.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Oh, we got you started
No,
talking
that's
about Nicki
it for the
Minaj.
night. Wait, wait, wait. Oh yeah, what happened with the Nicki Minaj? Because we've been on here for an hour and a half. But yeah, what happened with the husband now? So basically, he had to. We talked about that. You said that he had to basically get a petition signed in order to be at the hospital when his baby is being
Because,
born.
yeah, because he's a registered sex offender and he has a curfew.
Oh, it's his day. Oh, because of the curfew. But what
So
if the
I don't
baby
know
is
why
born
they're doing
outside of
all
his
that.
curfew?
I don't know why they're doing all that when they could just have a home birth, unless she's a high risk pregnancy and she has to be at
Yeah.
the hospital. That's the only reason why.
But how do they know that? Nicki Minaj said it.
Well, if you file a petition, it's in the court, and TMZ, they have
Oh,
people
so
all over the
people,
place.
they ain't got nothing but else to do. Ain't no such damn thing as private. Like I realized that, like even like when you have a house, as long as you know the address, you can find out exactly who the house is registered to. Like that shit is crazy.
Yeah, the county website, just whatever county you live in.
It don't
Just put in
even
the address
matter.
and it's public
All you
information.
need is the address. You're gonna know exactly who owns the house.
Just like my dream house, I know who owns that house.
I don't like when people do stuff like that because I know somebody that actually did that just to see who owns the house, And it's like people who work in the hospital that be looking up other people's hospital records. I think that's weird. I'm like, bro, you should not be doing stuff like that. Like if it doesn't concern you, then don't freaking go look
The
into.
only reason I did do that before,
You
like
did
when I
that.
was renting, when I was no, when I was renting a house, like that wasn't through like an agency or anything like that. I would have to make sure that whoever was renting out that house, they actually own that house instead of being
Oh yeah,
scammed.
yeah, yeah. I thought you was about to being at the hospital and looking people up. I'm about to say,
No, I don't know
damn.
how to do that shit. I don't work at the
No, but yeah,
hospital.
but when you're looking up a house to basically make sure, like, because that's a good thing to do because I know this girl who was moving. Basically, she came to Charlotte and she was staying in a hotel until her house was ready. After she paid these people $2,000, so then she stopped hearing from the people. She went to the house and it was a whole different family that lived there. She had to go do a police report and everything because the people took her $2,000. But if she would have been smart, she would have looked at the house to see who owned it and then make sure she was in contact with the actual owners because that she literally got scammed just like that. And it's people
Yeah,
like her that make it hard for people like me because they think everybody out here scamming.
yeah. Now that actually did happen to me. I gave somebody a thousand because my credit. I do have one eviction on my credit, so it was like one of those hood hookups. Like this
Hmm.
lady, she was getting people into houses, but she
Hmm.
played on that situation where people they have evictions on their records. They can't rent everywhere, even if they
Hmm.
can afford it. They just can't apply because
Because
of
they're
their
gonna get
credit.
denied. Yeah, I know
Because
what you're
they're
talking
gonna get
about.
denied. So she
Even
made
like
it
if you
seem
wanted to get
like,
a house, same shit. Even if you had the
yeah,
down payment, if your credit can't get approved from a lender, unless you have the whole, all the money for the whole house, then yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so she played on that with a lot of people. What was her name? Shit, I can't remember her name, but I have her blocked on Facebook. It was an older woman too. So
Mm.
she got a lot of people, and I ended up giving her $1,000, and she wrote me by the house that I was supposed to get, talking about something. She knew the owner, and I would tell her stuff like, "Or I want to meet the owner. I want their phone number, blah blah blah, blah." And yeah, I'm gonna get that to you. I'm gonna get that to you, blah blah blah. So she had a lot of people like that. I remember it was one girl I met through her. She was living in a hotel and her daughter had health issues. So she had to make decisions to where pay for the hotel or buy her daughter's medication because they need a place to stay. But she had already given this woman her money and she had told her, I can get you into whatever house by this date, and the date would be pushed back. And when she wrote me by the house that I was supposed to move into, it turns out that she told how many other people the same thing. So
Did that take her to court?
a lot of other people took her to court. But you can have a civil suit against somebody and not get your money.
You're right. If that's especially if they don't have assets, but saying like, bro, I would have beat her up. I'm sorry. It's either my money or you
She
get
already had people
anything.
after her. She already had people after her. That's why she ended up having to move. And girl,
I don't understand why people work so damn hard for their shit and you want to come scam somebody.
exactly. And then you do this to your own people who are hurting, who don't have the means to do everything, but they dig up the little bit of money they can dig up, and you take them for that little bit of money that they have. People work hard for their money, and you're telling them that you can get them into a house
And
and
then not even like just that, like that's just like ill intent all the way.
then
But you
take
trying to
their
find a
money.
person,
Yeah,
but you trying to find them. My only like situation, I can't really say like I got scammed, but I feel like I got scammed because it's this lady and I know her for years. Like I've did other business with her, but in like February, in January, she was talking about forex trading. How she had this course. It cost 150 a month, and how you could turn $100 into $100,000. Basically, it was going to take like 4 months of trading, and she was supposed to give us the signals. So when I paid the money, I'm thinking she's going to teach us how to trade. She's not teaching us how to trade. She's just calling trades. So we had a couple of good good days where we was actually profiting. But by the end of the month, we were not $150 in profit. So the first month, I'm like, let me pay her $150, and hopefully next month we have a better month. The next month, most of us balance was at zero because we lost money because of the bullshit ass trade she was calling. And then by then, because we was in March, the virus had hit. A lot of places were shutting down. She goes, make sure y'all send the 150. Bitch, you couldn't offer a discount. You know damn well we not even in profit $150. So what sense it makes for us to be paying you $150 a month and you're not even teaching us? So basically, I found this guy who charged $40 a month, and his trades be hidden, and he teaches us. So that was my only bad experience of feeling like I was actually scammed. And then the last thing, okay, did you find a picture? Because I want to see that. And then
I don't think I have a picture, but her name is Cora because I have her blocked, so I can't go on her profile.
let me see if I can look it up on my
But her
phone.
name is Cora Brenham.
Spell it.
Brenham. Cora, Cora, first name.
Hmm.
Brenham, Branham.
Did she look like a cat person? Did she probably, how many, was this years ago? No, this can't be her.
It's an older woman. It is an older woman.
The thing is that there's a few. It's going to be hard to figure out which one is her.
Yeah, you're gonna
Because,
have to show me the picture.
girl, you ain't going to be able to see because there's a few. I just looked at, this account have 7 friends. Yeah, she probably don't got that page no more. But look, it's a few profiles, and a lot the ones that I looked at, they had
Wait, that's it.
which one? This
The
one or
two
this one?
pages. That one and the one at the next one.
So
That's her.
both of them are her.
That's her.
It looks like she haven't used the pages in a while. This I wouldn't have trusted her.
That's her.
I wouldn't
That,
have trusted her with a penny, bro. Like,
but I was referred to her by my so-called friend. Now, if you go on my YouTube, I have a story time about this bitch, and she's the aunt to one of her 3 kids. Like, from his dad's side of the family. So, word of mouth in the hood, you think you can trust somebody because everybody else trusts them. So I'm
that's
gonna
the
get a
thing.
picture and I'm gonna blast her name. But if you go down to the courthouse, she has a lot of civil suits against her.
She needs to, because at the end of the day, I don't understand why the hell you do people like that when people work so hard for their money. But yeah, that's crazy. At least now
Deirdre
you know.
Pratt, Deirdre, Cora Brenham, Cora Brenham. Hold on, let me see if I can in the chat.
Cora. Oh, I seen the comments.
Cora Brenham. Let me go back.
Cora. Cora was the first name, and then I don't remember the spelling of the last name.
It looks like Branham, but it's.
Brenham.
I'm in the chat now. Cora.
Let me try to go back and find the person again.
Yep, that's her. What the
She
fuck?
has
That's shady as fuck.
2 pages. You see
Yep.
the 2 pictures?
Yeah, click on one of the pages because they're both her. They're both her.
But they neither one of them got like a good picture. But look,
That's her. That's probably the best possible picture. Move your phone over a little bit. What the fuck?
wait,
That's
this way. It's
yes,
so crazy.
that's her. So if anybody see her on the street, she lived over on Nevin Road and North Avenue before you get to Beatty's Ford. So the last I heard, she still lives over in that area because she was renting her house from somebody else.
Mm.
and she ended up losing that house too. So I guess that's how she got her money because
Yep.
she was making bank. She drove a Cadillac CTS, girl,
No wonder. Like
had a
no
real
wonder.
had a real nice fucking house. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't understand people like that, bro. Like I don't got
But
the
you know
heart to
what?
be doing that to
Well, let me
people.
find out where that bitch lives because
She gonna get
that's
some pepper spray, ain't she? Ain't she? You gonna get some pepper spray?
no, because she's too old for pepper spray. You just gonna have to,
Oh,
burn the house down. So,
you the one said she too
Google.
old for pepper
You can
spray.
Google somebody and know where they fucking find out where they live. Google is your friend, or you can just go down to the courthouse. But like I said, she has a lot of civil suits from taking people's money like that. But then again, like if she's not Carol Baskin, so you probably won't see a dime of that money.
Ta- That's the thing. It's like to me, she should have some type of assets. But some people don't even keep money for those type of purposes. Like especially when people are doing illegal stuff, they're not saving nothing. So that this way, if they get caught, the government seizes all of that money. So they live a type of lifestyle where as soon as they get it, they spending it. Because this way, if they ever get caught, they ain't got no funds to say, to prove anything. It's messed up, but hey, the raisin in the sun, like that's one of the first like the Raisin in the Sun. I think that's what it's called. It's like a
Yes,
Black History thing,
I
where
was
the
thinking about
guy
that. I was thinking about that play
gave
the
his
other day too.
money. See,
Yeah,
that's because I be thinking about that all the time. I'm like, why are people so fucked up? Like, I don't understand. Like, you sit there, like people be saving for years. There was another movie I was watching. I don't know if this is a real life situation, but she was saving for a house, and she had this man, and they was happily together. The day they was supposed to go get the house, she finally got all the money. He freaking took the money and dipped. Left her and
what?
the kids. Yes, left her and her kids after she literally saved up thousands. I'm like, people so wrong. But like I said, that was a movie. I don't know if it's real, but I'm sure that shit happened to somebody before in real life. But
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
was a
that.
good one. A raisin in the sun. Yeah, because like I would never give my money away like that. Like I do the boards, but that's only because of you and you're in charge of it. But that's the only one that I do. But other than that, no. Fuck no.
Yeah, because
No.
honestly, with the boards, I don't know if I told you, but I did this before years ago, but it didn't work out. We didn't have no administrators. After the group was split, they would leave. The lady that's in our group, she administers it. So when we get paid, we supposed to give her $50. And she's make sure that the board split. She creates the separate groups so that everybody get an invite. I can do that, but I don't feel like dealing with the headaches. I'm just gonna pay her $50, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like then when they first started doing this, it wasn't a situation where they had any administrators. So it was really every man for themselves. So the people who know about this that had a bad experience with it from years ago, they're probably scared to try it again because I honestly was asked by my daughter's aunt to try something like this and I didn't do it. And I'm glad I didn't do it because she never got her money. But the groups that I'm in, I'm finally getting paid. It's like, with me, I'm the type of person I trust the vibe, you know? And I like the
Hmm.
fact that you're with a group of people that don't mind reinvesting. If somebody puts in $100 and you get $800 and you can't take $100 to help move the process along, you're just selfish because you didn't have that $800 before. I feel
Yeah, but
like it was worth it.
I don't think black people realize like in the 40s, 50s, and the 60s, that's how black folks started their businesses. We put money
Exactly. Even
into
like when the
our
Caribbean people come
communities. Like
over.
if somebody wanted to open up a general store over here, or a barber shop over here, or a shoe store over here, or a clothing store over here, we would put money into each
Into it,
person's
and then when a
business
business
because
started,
it was going to be in our community or our part of the city where we would be frequenting. And it was just like, like the whole Black Wall Street thing. But, niggas can't have shit for white folks coming in and burning our shit down or intimidating us out of our neighborhoods.
or
Just like
buying us out, because if the price is right, if you can have the best business in the world, but if
property,
the price is
buying,
right, people.
buying out the property. Just like this is the last thing, and we're gonna go off. Lake, what's that lake down in Atlanta? Usher's stepson, he passed away from a boating accident out there in that lake.
Mm,
I forgot what the lake was called, but a lot of people die in that lake outside of Atlanta. A lot of
mm.
people drown, and it's a whole bunch of real spooky shit. But that lake is man-made over a black town.
That's crazy.
That was a black town up until the 1950s. And whoever the white folks were who were in power, they said, this town is a perfect spot for a lake. So they drove the black folks out of town, the ones that would leave. And the ones who didn't want to leave, they stood there, they stayed there. And the white folks, the state officials, they poured water into that town because it might have been like a dip to where the lake would have been made like downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So they poured water into that town, and the people who didn't want to leave, they didn't leave. There's literally a whole town up under that lake. So I think it was a drought. Let me see if I can get the.
But you think that they poured it with the people living there still?
Yes, of course they did.
What
The
in
ones
the
who
world?
The ones who didn't want to leave, they didn't leave.
That's crazy.
The ones who didn't want to leave, they didn't leave. Lake in Georgia that's made over a town. Shit. Can't remember the name. Oh yes. Sunken community, Lake Lanier.
Hold on,
Lake
let me go.
Lanier. It's a sunken community. Yeah. Lake Lanier. That's what it's called. So yeah, so during the drought, I think it was in the early 2000s when the drought happened. It was a really big drought across the US. Like we couldn't use water for shit. Um, there was a drought, and of course, it dried up that whole lake, and you can see where black folks had the stores, they had their houses, they had a racetrack. Like we had money back in the day. We had everything that we needed in that small town, and a lake was poured over it. There's a graveyard down at the bottom of that lake. So people's bodies are at the bottom of that lake that were buried from the early 1900s and earlier. So, um, so yeah. So like I said, black people with our communities, like we have them, we're able to circulate money into each other's businesses or just into each other, period, like
That's
we
the
used
thing, and
to,
everybody
but
think
we don't have
everything is
to
a
anymore.
scam. Like
Yeah,
even like
but we don't have to anymore.
when a lot of the Caribbean people are coming over, like what they used to do back in the days, like they would get money from their family, and then when they got the money, because sometimes you have to have a certain amount of money in your bank account to being able to like prove that you're not going to be here living on government assistance. So they would, get money, borrow money, go through the process, and then as soon as they got here, they would send the money back. To whoever, whoever, like they just borrow the money just to make it look good and sit there and they come here like poor as shit. But then the government don't know that. But they hustlers anyway, so they was gonna be all right.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
black people, we need to get back into the mentality. I know the boards, they look sketchy, but as long as we keep pouring into ourselves, then there should be no type of failure. Oh, that's a
That's what I'm
scam. It's
saying.
a scam. It's a scam if you do it, with somebody who you don't trust and whom you don't, want to, somebody who's just taking you. There are people out here that, that
There
are
are
going to want to
scammers.
take
I'm
your
not
money.
even gonna lie.
But,
'Cause-
for the most part, everybody's going to have to get paid. And everybody, like I said, everybody's going to have to get paid. So why not keep the rotation going?
But here's the thing though. You see with the $25 group that I'm in, I was in this $50 group and the $50 group was taking forever, right? So then she basically hit me up on the side. She's like, I got this $25 group, right? This was on July 22nd. I'm like, invite me. I got $25. I'm trying to get in there. She got mad because she didn't get paid out the next day. So when she messaged me, I was like, I said, I have history with this. I said, I have history with this. Oh, she said 160 deaths. I was looking up that
Yes.
too with that lake thing. But she basically got mad and left the group because she was saying how, she was told that she was up next and she don't understand and da da da. So she left and forfeited her $25 and told them to take her out the group. So I had to hit her up today, like, girl, you see that group that you invited me to? It's my turn to get paid. She's like, oh man. She's like, well, she was happy for me and all of that. Mind you, this is a total stranger, but she thought it was a scam because she didn't understand the process. She thought she was going to, because she was up next. Like, you could be on the board. When you first come in the board, you in the 8. Then the next time when the board splits, you in the 4. Then when the board splits again, you in the 2. And then when the board splits again, you in the middle. So the board technically got to split like what, 3 times before you're in the pay spot. And it takes 8 people to pay out somebody. But the main thing is that if it's a situation where you have the previous person that cashed out that's coming back in, that's $100. So now all you need is 7 people.
And then you can cash in twice.
And then you
I
can put in
just
more
saw
than one
that.
hand. Yes,
I
you could
just
put in
saw
more than
that.
one
Yeah.
hand. So
So
where you got 2 hands in, instead of getting 800, you want to get 1,600 because you have 2 separate hands in.
will you do the $25 one next week? Or is this
I just got paid out from the $25 one today. So when I got paid out and they put up 2 more boards, I went in one group and then I went on the other group. So now I have 2 hands. So when I finally do get that pay, that's gonna be $400. But I got paid out today, but I went back in twice. So it took me a week the first time. So I'm gonna see how long it takes for these 2 hands. Because one is they paid them out separately. So one is gonna go before the other. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. But
You know.
whew, that was it. Lake
That's
Lanier.
all, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know this was long. It's like 2 hours
This is
technically.
2 hours. And I
Yes.
probably won't even edit this one. Like we spent the whole 2 hours talking.
Well, the
So
beginning got to be edited because remember we came on before we went live too, so that time was counting. So we
I didn't
probably
go
will.
live. I didn't go live with
Yeah,
that.
but the stream thing is going to stream everything, or your live is only going to start with your live.
No, it starts when I press live. So we can go on here
Oh,
and talk. But unless I press
oh,
live, yeah.
you're not live, so they won't see the other craziness. You won't have to edit out either because
Oh
we
no,
weren't
no,
live.
you ain't gonna see me eating. No,
Ah!
no.
Why you gonna say like I was eating on live one time? Don't act like that. I got
I was
hungry on live before.
eating too. Yeah, but I didn't want to, I just didn't want to eat on live and, y'all big and eating on camera. No.
Oh please,
No, I didn't want to
big
do
girls
that.
gotta eat too. Shit.
Yeah, I'm about to go eat now because, yeah, my nephew was like, when
It's
is dinner going to be ready? I'm like, get the fuck out my face. So,
auntie duties. You see, I'm about to be on mommy duties right now. It's bedtime anyway, so
oh, yeah, get them kids to bed so they can go to school.
yes.
No, no, school's not till August. Like, get them ready for school, get them on that
Don't
free
even
stuff.
remind me. Like, bro, I'm not excited about school. Anywho, pray for
But we
us.
will
Let's
see
pray for
y'all
us.
next week,
On
next Thursday,
Thursday,
8:30,
8-ish,
8:15-ish, 8-ish,
ish,
8-ish.
ish.
All right. So we'll see y'all. And this is Peaches and Beat Dream Podcast. This will be uploaded on YouTube. So go and like on YouTube and subscribe and like and put us in the algorithm.
Right. Good night, you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, y'all. Y'all be black.